How y'all doing today? Well, baby, have you guys heard about what happened with the Titanic? That little submarine that a bunch of rich people thought it'd be a good idea to go down to the Titanic, and they were flexing on the fact that they could do that. Y'all, everybody's wondering what went wrong. A lot of people are like, are you serious? 250K? What could have gone right? Everybody is down, like trying to figure out, like, one, can they get home safely? We have some updates. They hear banging, but guess what? There's an issue with oxygen. But even if it surfaces without them finding, the oxygen issue is the biggest problem. We're going to go over that. But also, y'all, people are starting to say, yo, who is to blame? And you'll never guess. An evil billionaire. Well, allegedly evil billionaire. No, I'm not talking about Jeff Bezos, because you know he's like, what? I'm not spending my money on going down to the Titanic. I'm trying to go to the moon, right? And spending his money naming yachts after Lauren, right? I know Kim looks at that mess saying, could have been me. Even went to Lauren's plastic surgeon, but apparently looking like Lauren isn't going to do this. Apparently Jeff likes Lauren's personality. But listen, let's get back on track. Elon Musk is being blamed for this whole thing. Now, y'all, let me just say this. I am a big, I wouldn't say socialist, because of course I was raised, I have to give this disclaimer. I was raised in capitalistic America, but I am a big component of why does the life of one outshine the life of many? Duh, comrade. But all jokes aside, I find it ironic that everybody's losing their mind over this Pakistani billionaire being stranded, which is tragic. Nobody deserves this. It's like, imagine knowing that you're still alive and there is a high chance that you will not make it. That must be the most terrifying ordeal. But also to the fact of 300,000 Pakistani immigrants that literally tried to get on a boat and go to safer, more lucrative things, because whatever's going on in Pakistan literally perished and nobody even batted an eye. Nobody even tried to save them. Again, it's a disparity, but that said, let's just take this for what it is. If you guys need any background on it, let me give you guys a quick background, and then we're going to get to the updates because, ooh, I'm keeping this. So anyway, it's a submarine and it gives underwater tours of the sunken Titanic, and it's gone missing. Yeah, that's right. Now, I was originally, you know me and my spooky self, I was like, clearly everything dealing with the Titanic is cursed. There must be some energy vortex of evilness in the middle of the ocean. Y'all know I will get into some spirits and spooky mess, right? Anyway, there was a deep sea vessel. It vanished sometime over the weekend with a full-blown search and rescue operation launched on Monday via the U.S. Coast Guard. Now, it vanished sometimes over the weekend, and y'all waited till Monday to come rescue me. These are some super, super rich people, but I guess it took time, people are saying, for them to coordinate efforts, because when someone gets lost at sea, you can't just like dive in, right? Like they got a Charlie horse from swimming too close after eating. You can't just dive in. You literally need to like look at coordinates, do this, do that, find out where they were. Now get this. One of the reasons that's making it so difficult to find them is that because there is no radar, there's no sonar. You're so deep that conventional things can't reach. So what did they usually use to keep connected to the surface? Because if something goes wrong, they know where we are. We have other of these. We can go down and grab them. Well, the satellite link, this was Elon Musk satellite link. I think it's called Earthlink. Don't quote me on that, right? Anyway, they rely on the satellite, Elon Musk satellite tech, to stay in touch with their other subs and see what's going on. One of the reasons that it's so scary why they can't find them is because that satellite link just stopped. So imagine being lost at the bottom depths of the ocean that most places can't go, right? Imagine you have the vast ocean. You could be anywhere, and it's so dark down there. And because you have no satellite capability, I could be going, my rescue probe, or whatever you want to call it, could be going down in the water looking for you and pass by you with a millimeter and not even know that you're there. Okay, a millimeter is a over exaggeration, but it's vast miles down there. I could pass by like 6 miles of you, or 150 miles, and not know that you are there, because again, it's so dark and there's no satellite. So let me get into this, give you guys a little bit more background. It's unclear where exactly it lost touch with its home base, but reports say the submarine had begun the 12,500-foot descent into the ocean to see the Titanic wreckage up close off the coast of Newfoundland, Canada. A famed and rich British world explorer, Hamish Harding, is said to be the lone civilian accompanying the crew, as confirmed by his family. These are all rich people. I do want to say it's a shame that this is happening to anyone, but that money could have gone anyway, whatever. Harding, who once paid top dollar for a ride on Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin rocket. Funny thing, remember when Pete Davidson is like, I'm not going on that rocket. I was just BSing you. Get out of here. He posted a proud pic of himself Sunday, hyping up the fact that he'd be the last person to see the Titanic in 2023. He might be the last person to see it ever. The org that owns and operates the submarine said that they were actually set to resume voyages in 2024. That's a dead one. Who's getting on that mess? Anyway, OceanGate said the sub belongs to them and that their team had yet to return from the mission. Their private company that offers tours of the Titanic, the tickets go for as high as $250K. Normally, these Titanic trips last 8 days total, and the dives to the Titanic can reach up to 10 hours apiece. Oh, so they go down and then they let you put on stuff and go dive? OceanGate says they often rely on satellite tech to stay in touch with their subs. That's Earthlink from Elon Musk. But in this case, all communication has been lost. The company says their focus right now is on the crew members in the submersible and their families. We're exploring, mobilizing all options to bring the crew. Okay, fine, right? That was said. Let's actually get into these updates because these updates are wild. They are saying that they are hearing banging sounds. Banging sounds have been heard. The U.S. Coast Guard said it has not identified the source of the banging sounds. They were picked up by sonar on Tuesday and Wednesday morning, that's this morning, but the information has been shared with experts with the U.S. Navy as the search for the missing submersible continues. So from what they're saying is the banging sounds starts every 30 minutes and then stops. This could be the people in the crew knowing that it can't be continuous banging because you might ignore that. But if you do it every 30 minutes, it's like, wait, this has to be intentional. Get this, there's dwindling air supply. There's less than a day of oxygen. Less than a day of oxygen may be left on the vessel. It's based on Coast Guard's officials' last estimates. It was carrying 5 people. It was a British adventurer, French diver, Pakistani and father and son. I think that's the richest man in Pakistan. And the founder of the company that operates the tour all went down there, according to social media posts and family statement. They said that it's 100% still a search and rescue mission. So they don't think that they've passed away. They say this is a search and rescue mission 100%. We're smack dab in the middle of a search and rescue and will continue to put every available asset that we have in an effort to find the Titan and the crew members. This was Captain Jamie Frederick, okay? He said that the submersible has limited rations of food and water. He also said the oxygen available is just one piece of the data that they're analyzing. They're saying that they're remaining optimistic and hopeful. Here's the thing, right? What are they doing to retrieve these people? Currently, there are 5 service assets are searching. I guess those are ships or submarines. There will be a total of 10 surface assets in the next 24 to 48 hours. There will be 2 ROVs actively searching. ROVs are those roving operational vehicles that can be submerged and can be operated by remote controlled, that will be out looking for them just in case they are actually in the Titanic wreckage, right? Several more are en route and will arrive by tomorrow morning. There are 2 back-to-back P3 flights. One is ongoing, which provides a total of 14 hours of continuous on-screen coverage. And there are 2 C-130 flights, one ongoing now through the day and into the evening. The area of the search is now 2 times the size of Connecticut. That is fine. It's like finding a needle in a haystack. I think the reason people have been critical, like, why are we doing this when people die? Yeah, I know. The reason is because the combined wealth of those people They're paying for the search and rescue mission. And honestly, even me, I would pay every last penny in my bank account and yours. Y'all will see me doing telethons on here to get money to try to get our parents out, right? They said the area is approximately 2 times, and it's 2.5 miles deep. The rescuers have exponentially expanded the area of search, and it's expanding every hour. The searchers have to factor in ever-changing weather conditions during their operation. Again, the banging sounds have yielded negative results. Why does this sound like a ghost story? These people are supposed to be on Elon Musk's satellite Earthlink or whatever. It goes black. They're next to Titanic, which many people say occurs. And now there's a phantom banging sound, but every time they try to search for it, it gets negative results. It's almost like the sirens of the sea are trying to call more people home. I'm just saying, listen, I told you I was spooky from the beginning. I am. You know, my mind is thinking of every ghost story, every Greek mythology I ever read. He said, we don't know what those banging sounds are. Okay. He said the ROV equipment was relocated to look for where it was coming from, and the data from the Canadian aircraft that first detected the noises have been shared with experts in the U.S. Navy. It's being considered, but they're saying right now it's a dead end. The banging sounds were picked up by sonar vessels, and they continue to hope for survivors. You guys, here's the one thing I do want to say. The Canadian Coast Guard is saying they're going to keep working until they find the people. Here's the funny thing I do want to say. But let me get into this. They said, this is the divers saying that here's what the rescuers are dealing with as they scramble to find the missing sub. They said visibility is next to nothing at some of the ocean depths where the search is taking place. And the rescuers are relying on the sonar as their best tool to identify the location. They said as a diver, when we go into areas which we have to go, we call it blacker than anything you can possibly imagine. The rescuers themselves have their own anxiety that they need to contend with, because that's another thing. When they rescue, they could actually be like, they could actually get lost. They could actually die. So it's like, you know, they have to stay very focused and keep the morale high. When asked how the passengers could help themselves right now, they said that they should focus on staying calm and reduce their breathing. They said there's really nothing they can do except for the possible banging on the side of the sub, which the sonar buoys will pick up if they're making that kind of noise. The sonar buoys will pick up that, and that way they can possibly locate the sub in time before the oxygen runs out. You guys, this is sad. And if the reports of this actually being Elon Musk's fault because the satellite went, could you imagine you did this high equipment sub, didn't do anything normal because you literally believed in the satellite connection? I think it's Earthlink, that Elon Musk, this is his thing, and it literally cuts off while you're going down. So you can't even get back up. You don't even know whether to go left, right, or whatever. Oh my God. I feel for the families. I feel for everybody involved. I hope they're brought back home, but I even hope that the rescuers themselves don't actually get injured or there are even more fatalities. Oh, last thing I want to say, this is the scariest part. So even, let's just say that they find a way to come up to the top without the rescuers finding her. The captain's just like, okay, I think this is the way to the top. And they go up to the top. Because that thing, it only opens from the outside. It was a safety precaution. It only opens from the outside. So even if they make it to the top and the submarine gets, and it's on top of the water, if nobody finds them, they still will run out of oxygen because it can't be opened from inside. You guys, yeah. This is crazy. Anyway, y'all, I'll keep you updated. I had to say it. This is capturing everything. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.